Welcome back to PSN News. I'm Jezenia Marrero, and joining me tonight is Gannon, one of the captains on the Penn State Field Hockey team. Carly, thank you so much for coming in today. It's really an honor to talk to you.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
So tell me about the love for field hockey and where did that really originate from for you?
So all throughout my childhood, I played sports. I played field hockey, basketball, lacrosse, soccer. Field hockey really resonated with me because it was just nonstop, always going. There wasn't much setup. It was just a lot of running, and you were just always involved in the play. I love being part of a team, and my field hockey teams really allowed me to, meet new people and let my competitive energy, display. So it stuck with me ever since.
Yeah. So you mentioned growing up playing the sports, and your dad and mom both played college sports. Your mom played field hockey.
Yes.
What was that like, just being like kind of in that sports family, making your own way for yourself?
Yeah, so they, of course, wanted me to do whatever I wanted to do. But, of course, their passion for sports did sway me a little bit. But they were always super, understanding of if this wasn't the avenue for me, do whatever. But because I was surrounded by sports and I watched it and we would play outside, we'd have catches and passes, it just kind of stuck with me. And I loved it. I love moving. I love being part of a team. I love, competing. And my parents also love for those things really influenced me. They really, though, never pushed one sport on me. They wanted me to just feel free and compete and have fun. And I feel like field hockey specifically, but also basketball, lacrosse, all those other sports really allowed me to do that. And their support throughout my life, with sports has really allowed me to get to this point where I'm at.
So going back to that team aspect and the team mentality, This was your first year as a tri-captain. What was that experience like leading the girls throughout your senior season?
It was an incredible opportunity to be selected as a captain on a team of such amazing individuals. I'm so grateful to have been able to lead or help lead this team because of just how many amazing girls I'm surrounded by with. And I care about each and every one of them, so I feel like I was able to embrace the role because each and every day I would try to show up and show that I care and show that I trust them, and then just that I believe in all of them. Something that I would like to say to my teammates after a win or loss was like 1 through 24, because there's 24 girls on our team. Like 1 through 24, we won as a team, we lost as a team. And I believe that everyone has a role, and as a captain, I really tried to make sure everyone knew their role. And it was an honor for me to help lead these awesome girls.
Speaking of wins, so Iowa was a team where just the last two seasons ago, Penn State lost them 8 times, and you guys have been able to take that W the last 2 times, and the last one for you being your senior night, your senior season. What was that win like for just you guys as a team?
It was, oh my gosh, that was an awesome day. Senior day is just filled with so much gratitude as it is, I had tons of family and friends there. Everyone is just happy, sad, it's bittersweet. You're celebrating a great career while also looking back at to an end, which is unfortunate. And then to be able to win to such a incredibly talented team it just made that day so special. Iowa is, they're tough competitors. Clearly, it took us a little bit to get those wins. So that was just a game where we came together, and it was just true. Teamwork at its core, true competitiveness. The vibes were there with the fans. It was just an all-around great day, and you felt a lot of Penn State pride in your heart.
Yes, it's great to be a Penn Stater.
Of course, yes.
So coming to Penn State your freshman year as a D1 athlete with a program as big as Penn State Athletics, what was the transition like for you out of high school field hockey?
It was definitely difficult. Coming from high school, a lot of my teammates, actually all of my teammates were stars on their high school team. So then coming to Penn State with a bunch of quote unquote stars from high school, it's hard to kind of navigate your way because you are used to being maybe the top goal scorer, but that's in high school and everything changes in college. So I think for me, what helped me was kind of going back to like embracing your role. And my first few years, my role wasn't playing many minutes on the field. What I had to embrace was kind of that energetic, providing energy and passion and hopefully enthusiasm to my teammates off the field. So on the bench, cheering them on at practice, hopefully pushing them to help them get better. But I was surrounded by such awesome seniors and upperclassmen that really helped me feel valued no matter how much time I was playing on the field. So it really allowed me to embrace my role in those early years and ease that transition.
Yeah, so tapping into the student athlete side, what's it like being able to manage your academics and doing so good in school while having such a big responsibility being on the field hockey team?
Yeah, it's definitely difficult because of our schedule's pretty demanding. Our coaches hold us to a pretty high standard with academics, so we have that kind of standard to uphold. So I wanted to do well for myself. I also wanted to do well for them and for the program. But surprisingly enough, with our busy schedule, because we have such limited time, when you have that time, it's like, well, that's the time I have to do my schoolwork. So it was almost like when we had less time, my team and myself end up doing better in school because that was our time to do work. And if that's our only time, we had to just get down to it and we would devote that time. When we missed some classes for away trips, our professors were very understanding. If you were proactive about kind of reaching out, like, I'm going to miss this, what can I do? So they're very accommodating. We always, on away trips, also schedule out time where we'll go to a study room and we'll do work, especially, again, because our coaches value academics so much.
During in-season, what does a day-to-day look for you?
So in-season, usually our classes, actually always, because they have to be, our classes are in the morning because we have afternoon practice. So I usually would have class from about probably 9 to 1 and then maybe get lunch in between and then head to the locker room around 2 to get ready for practice. So to get ready for practice, we would fuel up, stretch, do our pre-practice type of things. Sometimes we would have meetings or film sessions and then practice for 2 hours. Sometimes we'd have a lift afterwards, depending on the day. In season, we didn't lift as much just because of the demands on our body. And then sometimes we'd have a meeting afterwards. So between the hours, I would say like 2 to 7, we're pretty cut out with trainings, meetings, film sessions, stuff like that. But again, love to be busy, love to be surrounded by those people. So it was my pleasure.
During the post-field hockey season, especially now as a senior, what was the transition like from being so busy with athletics all the time to now having more time on your hands? Yeah,
so it's interesting. Sometimes when you're in the moment and you're going, and you're so busy, you're like, wow, I really want some downtime. And that's what I thought at first. And now not having field hockey and all that time with my teammates, I miss it. I miss being busy. I miss seeing them. So trying to fill my time is tough because I'm between those hours of 2 to 7, I'm not competing. So it's been difficult trying to do things for post-college type of activities. But realizing that as much as my experience at Penn State with field hockey was incredible and that chapter has ended, trying to think of how grateful I am about the experience instead of dreading on the past. So of course, bittersweet, but just trying to reflect on how good it was and instead of mourning almost the loss of this team environment.
For sure. I'm sure you'll do great wherever you go. But Carly, thank you so much for joining me today. It's really been a pleasure.
Thank you.
Now stick around because coming up next, Gianna and Amanda will have the latest news from across the nation.